What if your spouse had an affair? Does that affect anything in the outcome of your divorce, like financial settlements, custody, or support payments? Most often when someone finds out that their spouse has been unfaithful, it can have a huge impact on their marriage. For starters, it can be very difficult to regain trust. And people don't usually blame their divorce on just one factor, but infidelity can be one of the most impactful single factors on a couple's decision to get divorced. Once a spouse learns that their partner's cheated and they want to end the marriage, the question that I always get from clients is, how much does cheating affect the outcome of the divorce? Now, years ago, adultery might have been factored heavily into divorce settlements, meaning financial settlements more in favor of the faithful spouse. But these days, here in Ontario, the impact of adultery or infidelity on a divorce and your settlement is not what you might think. Ontario is referred to as a no-fault province. Neither spouse is deemed to be solely responsible or to blame for the marriage breakdown. Even if infidelity is the reason that you want a divorce, in most cases, it'll be inconsequential to the outcome. Cheating almost never has an effect on spousal support or child support or custody or even equalization of net family property. And if you want to know more about equalization and net family property, check out my video on this channel that's called Equalization and Net Family Property, and it offers a full explanation of what that is. Now, there are, however, rare situations where adultery might have an impact on either spousal support or equalization. When it comes to spousal support, if the spouse who was cheated on can prove to the court A, that the other spouse's affair caused her or him such severe emotional harm that it affected her or his ability to support themselves, and or B, that the spouse who cheated knew or ought to have known that this result was likely to happen, then the spouse who was cheated on may be granted increased spousal support. As for property, the spouse who was cheated on must show that the other spouse who cheated caused their assets to be diminished by a considerable amount. However, that amount would have to be so high that it would what they call shock the court. Enough so that the spouse who was cheated on ought to get an increased share of the assets. But that threshold is very, very high. The legislation uses the word unconscionable and intentional and reckless depletion, which quite frankly raises the bar very, very high. Now, if your spouse has cheated and you have questions about your own divorce and settlements, I always suggest that you speak to a lawyer and get proper legal advice. If you would like the name of a great family lawyer, by all means send me an email at mike@thedivorceguy.ca and I'd be happy to put you in touch and give you a recommendation. Also, be sure to check out my friends over at divorcespecialistgroup.com. You're never obligated to work with anyone, but they have the highest standards in the industry and the best vetting process. Check them out.